Hello everyone and welcome to MT 6250, Leading the Organization to. Really, this is about quality management, and my name is Dr. Janet Smith. Let's get started with tonight's presentation. In this class, we're going to be talking about the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. And Malcolm Baldrige was the former U.S. Secretary of Commerce, and this award was developed to help improve quality in U.S. companies, to recognize achievements of excellent firms and provide examples to others, and to establish criteria for evaluating quality efforts and providing guidance for other U.S. companies. And you will see, if you take a good look at the quality movement within the United States and even just the past 20 years, you will see where quality is very important, and there have been various quality theories that have come and gone. And Malcolm Baldrige was really a quality award that had great meaning in the United States in the past. But as you can see, some things have changed with it, and it's almost become unwieldy today, difficult for organizations to even participate in. But still, I think it's important that we talk through this together as a class. The criteria for performance excellence includes leadership, strategic planning, customer and market focus, measurement, analysis, and knowledge management, human resource focus, process management, and of course, business results. Interestingly enough, though, people are saying that there still are elements of this award that are missing and that should be part of this, and we will talk a little bit more about that as we go on. And that's what the Baldrige Award trophy looks like. The Baldrige framework is really a systems perspective. And if you have been in other courses with me, I really like to talk about systems analysis. And the reason why I like to talk about it is because it gives us as leaders an opportunity to make sense out of chaos. And it helps us, using this model, we can look at just about any problem. A system will have inputs, it'll have transformations, it will have outputs, it'll have a feedback element, and it will also be set in a certain environment. The framework that I'm providing to you here is really the 30,000-foot view of the criteria for this award. And I should note here that education and healthcare have slightly different nomenclature. The building blocks or categories are essential, and performance in the Baldrige categories is the cost of entry. But excellence in the linkages will be the mark of competitive leadership. The arrows point to excellence. The umbrella is the overarching strategy and action plans. It is the set of customer and market-focused company-level requirements, and these are derived from short and long-term planning. They are things that must be done well for the strategy to succeed. The action plans bring the strategy to life, and they guide the overall resource decisions. They drive the alignment of measures for all work units to ensure customer satisfaction and market success. The system really is a leadership triad with leadership, strategic planning, customer, and market focus. It emphasizes the importance of leadership focus on strategy and customers. The results triad is the HR focus, process management, and business results. Its focus is on the employees and key processes that accomplish the work of the organization that yields the actual results. All company actions point towards results. Well, hopefully. The large arrow in the center connects the leadership and the results triads. This is a critical linkage for company success and shows the role leaders must play in dividing and driving results improvement. Information and analysis are critical to a fact-based system, and they are the foundation for the performance management system. Let's look at business results. Customer-focused results include customer satisfaction and dissatisfaction. And you'll be asked to explain a time when you were, dissatisfied as a customer or satisfied as a customer, and what was involved in that. And also, you'll have an opportunity in the discussion forums to talk about what customer perceived value is. We'll also have an opportunity to take a look at product and service results and the performance of each. And then also, we'll have to look at financial and market results. What is the financial performance of the organization? And what is the marketplace performance of the organization? We'll get an opportunity to take a look at human resource results. It's people that will have to buy into this and help drive quality within the organization. So we'll take a look at work system performance and effectiveness, as well as employee learning and development, employee well-being, their satisfaction and their dissatisfaction, and how that can lead or not lead to quality within the organization. Then we'll also take a look at organizational effectiveness results. What is operational performance of key value creation and support processes and the accomplishment of strategy and action plans? Then we'll take a look at governance and social responsibility results. We'll take a look at fiscal accountability, and we've seen some tremendous examples of poor fiscal accountability in organizations in the past few years. We'll talk about ethical behavior and stakeholder trust in the governance of the organization, as well as regulatory and legal compliance. Then we'll look at organizational citizenship in support of key communities. Now, this is the Baldrige Award evaluation process. And as you can see, there's a 4-stage evaluation process illustrated in this chart. After each stage of review, the panel of judges meets to decide which applicants should go forward to the next stage, whether there's consensus or a site visit. Then the judges' guidelines encourage giving benefit of the doubt to make certain all of the potential award recipients proceed to each succeeding stage of review. When it is determined that an applicant will not proceed to the next stage of the process, the feedback report is prepared and sent within 45 days to the organization. All information provided by the organization remains strictly confidential throughout the process, and there are strict conflict of interest rules that are followed by all examiners, judges, and the National Quality Program staff. The system for scoring applicants' responses to the 20 criteria items involves the assessment of 3 evaluation dimensions and considers the factors of improvement or of importance to the applicant's business. The process employs scoring guidelines which are an anchored rating scale. All Baldrige Award examiners observe a set of published guidelines in assignment of scores to applicants' responses. The scoring system is spelled out in detail so that an organization can assess itself and so that applicants are completely familiar with the system being used to evaluate them. The 3 scoring dimensions critical to evaluation and feedback are the approach, which refers to how the applicant addresses the item requirements or what methods are used. The factors used to evaluate approaches include 1, the appropriateness of the methods to the requirement, 2, the effectiveness of the use of the methods, and 3, the evidence of innovation and or significant and effective adaptation of approaches used in other types of applications or businesses. 2, deployment, which refers to the extent to which the applicant's approach is applied to all requirements of the item. The factors used to evaluate deployment include 1, the use of the approach in addressing business and item requirements, and 2, the use of the approach by all appropriate work units Okay, and then finally we need to talk about results, which refer to outcomes in achieving the purposes given in the item. The factors used to evaluate results include 1. Current performance, 2. Performance relative to appropriate comparisons and or benchmarks, 3. The rate, breadth, and importance of performance improvements, and 4. Demonstration of sustained improvement and or sustained high-level performance, and 5, linkage of results measured to key performance measures identified in the business overview and in the approach or deployment items. Evaluation and feedback must also consider the factor of importance of improvements in approach, deployment, and results to the applicant's business. Areas of greatest importance should be identified in the business overview and in items of particular importance such as key customer and process requirements and key strategies and action plans. Then we have the feedback report, and this discusses the strengths or approaches or results that demonstrate effective response to the criteria and opportunities for improvement, how the applicant can better address the purposes of the criteria or issues that require clarification. Now there is a self-assessment opportunity where the primary goal of the program is to encourage many organizations to improve on their own by equipping them with a standard template for measuring their performance and their progress through performance excellence. And here's a website for that. Of course, you have to have enough self-awareness to accurately measure yourself and then take it upon yourself to make improvement. There are quality awards all around the world, and as you can see, it's mostly in the United States, but also we do have in South America as well several programs in place, and you can see in Australia, but a lot of the world, an awful lot of the world, does not have quality awards in place and do not have a focus on quality. And you can see that we are buying a lot of product from a lot of companies that are located in countries that do not have a focus on quality. So let's take a look at 2013-2014 criteria changes. And the question that I want to ask is, has the Baldrige Award program gone out of business? For the first time in the 25-year history of the award, there are no 2013 Baldrige business applicants. And criteria degradation and impracticality are looking more and more like the primary causes to this. Interesting. So let's take a look at this. Here is a chart I found online, and you can see that for-profit applications are really going down to 0 in 2013. The Baldrige criteria are regarded by some, and this includes myself, as a valuable tool for organizational and performance excellence assessment. However, there is a wide gap between their actual value and their perceived value as measured by the 20-year decline in private sector participation shown here. Millions of copies of the criteria have been downloaded, but no business organizations applied in 2013. And the growing consensus is that criteria issues are the cause. At a high level, key problems identified by users include: 1, the criteria is not practical. It's confusing. Out of the mainstream terminology is used, leading to resistance by those who are trying to apply. The criteria are imposed for a 2-year period without adequate user review or acceptance. Criteria errors are perpetuated until the next 2-year cycle. The criteria are overly complex with 985 non-overlapping response requirements, including 135 new response requirements for 2013, and major topics include suppliers, customer relationship management, and innovation are cyclically emphasized and then de-emphasized without any apparent reason. We can all agree or disagree with the reasons for the decline, but what is clear is that the criteria purport to offer a means to improve organizational performance excellence and profit organizations are desperately in need of and open to a means to improve their performance. Defiance of the basic laws of economics. There is the ideal market scenario with both an inexhaustible supply and an unquenchable demand, but something, which I think is the criteria, has not only prevented growth in the number of for-profit applicants, but caused a steady exodus. So, what follows next is a criteria of improvement opportunities identified by users, including winners, examiners, judges, and former Baldrige Foundation chairman, national award leaders, and advisor to 2 U.S. presidents. Everyone wants to see the Baldrige program regain its former stature. Please note that this summary of the new criteria changes is being continuously updated. It is possible that in some cases the finding presented may be inaccurate. However, if the criteria are correct and the perception is that they are not, there would appear to be an important opportunity for the criteria to better communicate to the users. So, for instance, how many words is too many? There are 5,878 words in the 2013 criteria. And 4,595 additional words in the explanatory notes under the criteria. Some people think this is too many. Also, it's time to reinstate the word world class. As Baldrige celebrates its 25th anniversary, it may want to consider reinstating the original world class requirement in both processes and results scoring guidelines. America ranks lower internationally in manufacturing, healthcare, and education than it did when the Baldrige program began in 1988. Lowering the competitiveness bar for winning to national or regional benchmarks level is not compatible with the award original purpose, and it is not the best approach to improve America's competitiveness. Reinstating the word world class will result in fewer winners, but state and international excellence award programs will have addressed this effectively by using tiered award levels. And also, it's time to go back and take a look at the supplier connection. Supplier and partners are not second-class stakeholders. You know, it's time to give them equal status with major stakeholders such as workforce and customers by adding a dedicated suppliers and partners focused category and corresponding results item. Doing this will establish applicant accountability to addressing these valuable stakeholders. The winner's application summaries, especially in healthcare, make a compelling argument that to win the Baldrige Award, it is no longer necessary to meaningfully address suppliers and partner organizations. Nobody wins when the value of suppliers is minimized. Now, in 2012, the following criteria were deleted, and I did not include everything here. But for instance, it says delete distinctive characteristics of your organizational culture from the vision and mission. And then it deleted education levels from workforce profile. And then it deleted strategic content. Then it deleted performance improvement systems. You can go ahead and take a look at this. But, you know, the question that I have is, you know, how do you innovate product offerings to meet the requirements and exceed the expectations of your customers if you just delete this requirement? You know, how do you innovate product offerings to attract new customers and to provide opportunities to expand relationships with current customers if you delete this from the award? You know, and how do you develop good work systems if you just delete this? So this is what I'm saying. All 5 result items are now labeled as results, replacing the word outcome, and results items have been labeled as results from 1988 through 2005, and they were rebranded as outcomes from 2006 through 2012, and no one really cares why, and nobody really knows why except whoever thought it was a good idea to make the change. And see, these changes, you know, if you're not going to take a look at things, if you're not going to measure things, then are they going to be important to quality within that organization? So here are some things that might improve the Baldrige award. Reduce the total number of words in the scoring guidelines by more than half. And we talk about this all the time in school. We give you a certain number of words for your papers, and we ask you to use good grammar, and we ask you to format, and we ask that you organize it well. But when you take a look at these guidelines, none of that is happening here. So now what we're trying to say is, make it easier for people to read and understand this thing in the first time. If the objective is to assess trends, comparisons, segmentations, and results, well, do you really need more than 200 words to say that? Add a segmentation scoring dimension to the results scoring guideline to reflect the popularity of this type of feedback comment. Remove all reference to non-results from the results scoring guide. The term multiple requirements, overall requirements, and basic requirements are confusing. And, and really does contribute to assessment variation. Guidance that the requirements don't really mean requirements doesn't help either. Advice to take a holistic view and not hold applicants accountable to the requirements. Well, see, it's confusing. You understand what I'm saying. Results are quantitative by nature, so why use judgmental terms such as important, poor, good, good relative, very good, good to excellent, excellent? They're not needed. Get rid of them. How is fully deployed without significant gaps different from fully deployed with significant gaps? By the way, how can something that is fully deployed have significant gaps? One of several examples where the scoring guidelines can be improved through more careful wording and improve the coherency of the results scoring guidelines language. Including the use of few, little, little to no, limited, limited or no, some, many, many to most. Wow. My personal favorite here is mainly. What does that mean? Examples is majority closer to many, is closer many to most, or is majority a simple majority, is mainly more and less than a majority? Who knows? This needs to be cleaned up. Speaking of which, let's take a minute to clear up some things in this class, okay? First of all, I hope that you enjoy reading about the Baldrige Award and come back and tell me what you found out in your research. But I do want you all to be aware of how you're going to be graded and assessed in this course. And so that leads me to a discussion on rubrics. Please take a moment to read the rubrics used to assign your grade. And please note that there are no D grades in graduate work. If you do not make a C, then you make an F. The rubrics are in the expectation guide, and they're also in your Dropbox, so take a look at those. My role in the class is merely to be your facilitator and to assist you with your learning. I will ask of you to develop your higher level thinking skills, and I will ask you to provide analysis, evaluation, synthesis, and summary in the work that you provide to me for evaluation. Your role in this class is to be a learner, a critical thinker, and a problem solver. I'll be looking for that. Please submit your assignments through the Dropbox. Do not submit your assignments to me through the email. First of all, many times I will not get them in the email. Secondly, this is for your protection. You must submit your assignments through the email, or excuse me, you must submit your assignments through the Dropbox, and email will not date and timestamp it. The system is designed to log in your assignments, and the only way I can access your assignments is through the Dropbox. The only way I can submit your grade is through the Dropbox. I will not begin grading the assignment until the following morning after, well, this says the midnight due date, because at one point we were giving people till midnight, but now it's really, I think it's, I'm not sure. I have to tell you, I have to get back to you. But here's the thing. Your assignments will always be due on Monday, and I will not start grading until Tuesday morning. So just know that. And I will have until Sunday to get your grades into you. Also, please take a look at Turnitin. Your Turnitin scores will be turned on, and if it's over 20%, I will send it back to you because it's important for you to have your originality scores set to what the expectation document is. I will post your grades quickly, and I'll send you an email asking you to go to your gradebook and review your grade. Sometimes, even though it looks like I posted it and submitted it and it was saved, sometimes it doesn't save. And everybody in the class will be saved except one person maybe. I don't know why. So please check your gradebook after every LP. If you have a problem, talk to me then. Don't wait until the end of the course to say, well, I never did get a grade for LP1. You know, trust me, if you don't have a grade by Sunday afternoon, when my deadline to get your grades in has passed, then there's something with the system. So give me a call, and I'll be sure to take a look at that and repost it. Okay? Because I never miss, unless the system goes down on me, I have never missed my deadline to provide your grade to you. All right, late work. Listen, you have to tell me if you're going to be late. Listen, life happens, and lately I've been having a lot of students who have been getting divorced in the middle of a class or have been having extraordinary personal problems, and my heart goes out to them, and we've still been able to get through the course if you talk to me and help me waive these late penalties. But if you don't talk to me, these late penalties go into effect, and trust me, you're late 5 days, that's 50% deduction right there before we even start grading it. So please contact me if you're going to be late. We can work out a plan where you can submit your work without a penalty. But you have to contact me in advance. And here's my office, and office hours are every Tuesday. I say morning here. Actually, just call me if you have a question. Leave a message. I will call you right back. There's no reason. I do have office hours this term at 8, I believe it's 8 o'clock on Tuesday nights. But if you will just give me a call, I'll return it. Also, please note that people call, and so if you get a busy or if you go to answering machine, it's because somebody else is talking to me during office hours. So just let me know, and we can, I'll be happy to help you. And you don't have to just call on Tuesday. Just call anytime you have a question, really. If I'm not at my computer and I'm on my cell phone, as soon as I get to a computer and can answer you, I will. So just call me if you have a question. I'm happy to take your calls. Discussion questions. I really believe in the 70-20-10 rule, and that is you learn most from each other, then you learn from your bosses, and then you learn from formal schools like me. So, that's why we have these discussion questions. You're able to talk with one another. You're able to share your experiences with each other. You're able to share various resources with each other. Please get to know each other, and please use the discussion questions to work on your theory development. That's what it's used for. Discussion questions are individually graded, and you will need to post one substantive response to the question and 2 responses to fellow students or myself as a response. And these all need to be on a different day. So you need to have 3 responses for each discussion question, and you need to have each of those responses on a different day in order to be even eligible for full points before we start talking about content. So please be aware of that participation rules. If you post all 3 on one day and on the last day of the LP, you are going to lose a lot of points for that. So don't do that. Okay. So, and here's what I look for. Did you answer the question? Were all the components of the question present in the answer? Did you read the theory? And did you support your work with evidence? And don't plagiarize, of course. And what were you able to combine the theory with practical experience? And I'd like for you to use third person, but it's absolutely important that you use APA style and grammar, good grammar. I read every discussion forum. I always assume the best, not the worst. You have a specified time frame to get in there and do this. After the due date, I will lock up your discussion forums and force you to go on to the other. And I do not open those for any reason. If you're late, even if you have an excuse, I don't open those up because the discussion forums are your time to interact with each other. And if you're just in there by yourself answering discussion forums or questions, nobody's able to read them. It's like being in the room talking to yourself. No one can hear you. So, you know, please be aware to get in there, get those done, and participate. Also, if you cannot see your response, others cannot. So be sure to contact me. Please don't call me and say, well, I did it. There's no evidence of it. Because I've called IT and they say, look, there's nothing here. There's, you know, and if nothing's there, I can't give you a grade for it. So please be sure you can see your response, okay? Please read the assignments carefully. This really is the cause of most of the deductions and points because you simply do not understand the question before you start writing. So please understand the question first and then carefully craft your answer. Be sure that all of the requirements of the assignment are included in your writing. You do have to use a certificate of authorship, but you only need to submit one, the first assignment in LP1. That will cover it for all of the other assignments. And as I said, please turn it in. You cannot use past work from any other class, and you have to have proper citation of your work. Okay, so your homework is you have a self-awareness key, self-awareness is key. You have a self-analysis worksheet. This is confidential, and please take a look at this, and you can use it for the organizations that you're currently working for. Okay, if you have it, or if you don't work for a current organization, you could certainly complete this analysis worksheet for an organization that you're interested perhaps in going to work for after graduation. Okay, also you can locate the Baldwin Performance Excellence Program through the NIST.gov website to use in completing this out. And then you need to complete the worksheet, follow the analysis on the worksheet. You need to provide information for 4 of the 7 categories to receive full credit. And completeness of your worksheet information will vary depending on the organization. Prepare your assignment with a cover page and reference page properly cited and submit to the Dropbox. Okay. And that completes our lecture today. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to give me a call. My telephone number for my office is listed in this presentation, and I do have your quiz that will be provided to you in your news area, where I will also put a link to this recording. Okay, well, that's all for now. So I'll see you online, and I hope you all have a really enjoyable term. See you later. Take care.